Hello, everyone. What is up, peeps? It is Lucas here and Jay Josh. We are back. Talking Crap. We are back. Don't worry, there is Talking Crap on Tour coming very, very soon. So watch this space. And before that, we thought we'd delve into something a bit more topical. And at the heart of the matter, of course, is the current 2021 WWE draft. The draft is scheduled to air as part of WWE programming. It begins tonight. If you don't do it by the day, I'll do this as well. It begins on SmackDown this week and it concludes on Monday Night Raw on Monday, of course. So we are following the format that's been used in a couple of years, for this, whereby there are rounds of picks, and the basic rules are that because Raw is a 3-hour show and SmackDown's a 2-hour show, it means for every 2 SmackDown picks, Raw gets a third. Raw gets 3, so additional 1. And we're following the format that they have used the past 3 years of Raw picks first and so on and so forth. The twist in our one, though, will be that after we've done all this, so we've been in 4 rounds for the SmackDown portion of the event, TV, that one. That'll be tomorrow. We will also have 6 rounds for our Raw episode of picks, followed by negotiation period, I guess, of trades, as well as something which I think WWE should do, but they're not going to do. Well, not that we know of as of yet, but they should include NXT in the draft. So we shall be including NXT in this draft by way of, after we've done all our drafts and our trades, our final thing to do, we'd sit down and discuss which 4 of our superstars we want to send down. We want to send to NXT for a trade with 4 current NXT superstars. So this is quite exciting, actually. There's a lot of prospects on NXT 2.0, but we'll get to that very, very soon. But to the matter of business, as we are, I am Luke, and I'm going to be representing Monday Night Raw, and Jay Josh. That means you, of course, get Friday Night Smackdown. No, this is quite tense, actually, because there's some big names involved, isn't there?
There's loads. I mean, half of them are injured, but we move.
Yeah, I will go through the exclusions very, very soon. But I mean, there are some massive names involved with this, and obviously, if you want to get involved with this as well, like, want to share this, or comment who you would have picked in these rounds, whatever it might have been, then so be it. I'll get on to the final kind of 2 rules where we will start getting drafted, don't you why? But don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It means the absolute world to us. There's more great content coming your way if you like this sort of stuff. And if you don't, there's more stuff coming that's not wrestling involved as well, isn't there? From our Talk on Tour stuff, which we'll get to talking about, I'm sure, through the episode anyway. But the next kind of 2 rules, one regards tag teams and one regards the exclusion list. So first is the exclusion list, and these are the reasons why. So ineligible for our drafts are any superstar on NXT UK or 205 Live. They're not part of our draft. The entire McMahon family, as they are executives, and part-time contracted roster members Edge, Goldberg, and John Cena. And I don't really need to say this, but The Undertaker's not involved with our draft either, as he's not a wrestler at the moment and makes sporadic appearances. And for similar reasons, people like Kane and the Ambassadors are not part of this too. The other exclusions are Lacey Evans, as she is pregnant. Asuka, Bayley, MVP are all listed as injured and with longer term injuries. And The Miz, as he's currently competing on Dancing with the Stars. So we decided to exclude him from the draft. Understood, Paul? I think it makes sense, doesn't it? We decided this together, by the way.
Yeah, if you're not on TV, what's the point in being included in a draft if you're just not going to be on TV again?
Yeah, and obviously, don't
might as well deal with them when they come back.
Indeed, that's what WWE tends to do, don't they? They tend to obviously, draft them when they return. They kind of show up on the brand, and that's for their brand, obviously, going forward. But in this season we're doing now, I don't think they need to be involved with this. The other rule, it comes to tag. I mean, this has been consistent with WWE for the past couple of years, and we saw it most famously used last year when this all happened. But tag teams can be drafted as one pick together, unless one of us wants to take a member from that tag team or stable. Obviously, famously last year, the New Day, this happened, where the New Day members, Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston, were drafted over to Monday Night Raw, and Big E was drafted to SmackDown, thus splitting the New Day over the 2 brands, and that can happen.
I think they might be the only faction to have not really split up.
Yeah,
Let's be honest, Big E was still New Day, even though he was on his own. He still had his New Day attire, he still has a New Day theme song for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was still part of the New Day. And then obviously Money in the Bank, he wins the WWE Championship and is now back on Raw with the New Day.
Well, for now.
Yeah.
And you never know where it will take us. And of course, our drafting champions such as the NXT, we are drafting champions such as the 24/7 champion Reggie and the Women's Tag Team champions, 2 brands, even though at the moment they have belts, which obviously can be defended on, well, meant to be all brands.
Yeah.
But
I think with that, it's just simply because they're either on Raw or SmackDown. Even though they can show up on anyone, they are either or. Yeah. And they're not going to have the titles forever. One day they're going to drop them. So why should they stick to one brand when they can be brought over to another?
Indeed. So, without further ado, I've got all the rules out of the way. Yep. I'm ready. Are you ready, Potter?
Guess so. I mean, we're here.
Indeed. So, round 1 of the draft is going to commence. So, let's get things in motion.
I get the feeling you're going to kick my ass with round 1 instantly.
The final rule to mention is that there can only be one world champion, that being the WWE or Universal Champion on each brand, and the belts that are named, such as Raw and SmackDown, Tag and Women's Champions, can only go to those brands. So those champions have to remain. But everyone else is included, so some big superstars, some big names to be involved with, and it's my pick first. And I think you might have seen this coming, but Raw's first pick is going to be the Universal Champion, Roman Reigns.
I did say before we did this, I didn't really want Reigns anyway.
So yeah,
and that's fine. That just means I've got Big E now.
I guess your default first pick, is it going to be Big E? I think that makes sense. I think obviously they've done a lot of this belt switching, even the original back in the days, and obviously when the WWE Championship changed over to Raw and vice versa. I think it makes sense, to do this. And I think Reigns on Raw will be an interesting addition to the show. And Raw needs ratings at the moment, so that was.
I mean, they did a really weird thing last year with the Street Profits and who was it? The Viking? No, the New Day. Because they were Raw and SmackDown Tag Team Championships respectively, and then they just swapped them round.
Yeah, but it's messed up their reigns, and the Street Profits now are obviously Grand Slam champions in the scheme of things, but they didn't really win the SmackDown tag belt because they just got handed them. So
they traded them.
Yes, like asterisk of like, does that count? We have to ask.
I don't think it does. I think if they go and win it now, then it will count. But because they traded it, I'm not personally counting it.
Fair enough. But look, we must move on with this draft then. And Raw's second pick, and the person who we are choosing to remain on Monday Night Raw will be the former WWE champion, Drew McIntyre. He will now be drafted back to Monday Night Raw. Who's your next pick?
I thought you had 3.
Yeah, but I'll say mine after you say yours.
Oh, okay. Well, this is my first pick, but my actual first pick ended up being Big E in the end, which I'm not complaining about. I would have picked him anyway. But my actual round 1 pick is Finn Balor, former Universal Champion.
Okay, you're choosing for him to remain on SmackDown?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair enough. So I get the final pick of the round, and I have decided that coming to Monday Night Raw will be the man who's looking to stop the world, none other than Kevin Owens. He's the last pick of my first round. So
I'm going to have to go into my reserves now.
So let's just clarify that round 1 picks for Raw were Roman Reigns, the Universal Champion, of course, former WWE Drew McIntyre, and former Universal Champion Kevin Owens. Yep. Whereas Friday Night Smackdown, you got the current WWE Champion Big E and Finn Balor. feeling about your first round? I think that went okay, to be fair.
Yeah, I'm not complaining. Like I got one of my picks from round one.
But yeah, look, I wrote down a long list as well, and you know, I was flip flopping between Big E and Reigns, but I thought no, let's do a switch here. Let's do a switch here. So without further ado, let's get straight into it then. Let's get straight into round two then. So round two, still some big names to come, guys. Don't you worry. So in terms of my pick in this round, I am picking that this person will remain a Monday Night Raw superstar, and that is the almighty Bobby Lashley.
Not bad, not bad. So my round two pick is actually one of my reserves from round one. And that is former WWE champion Seth Rollins.
Oh, what a steal there. A steal there. The King of Drip remaining on Friday Night Smackdown. So you haven't drafted anyone over yet, Porter? I've
got a few. I've got a few.
By default, eh? When I'm stacking the show, and the person that will be joining the Monday Night Raw roster next will be, okay, so the person that will be coming over to the Monday Night Raw team will be none other than the Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar.
Not bad, not bad. I like keeping the story between Roman Reigns and Lesnar. The rivalry's got to continue.
Indeed, it has. But that means your pick then from your side then.
So with this one, it is going to be the only man to have struggled to get a singles win at WrestleMania, Cesaro.
Oh, I know you're a big fan, aren't you? You're a big fan.
Yeah, I am.
I know you're a big fan. So that leaves my final kind of pick, and I guess it's kind of default pick because they are my tag team champions, and that will be remaining on Monday Night Raw will be the team of RK Bro, as they are the Raw tag team champions.
I was really disappointed about the tag team rule, because them being Raw tag team champions, that meant I couldn't then have Randy Orton.
Frozen.
Oh, because I was disappointed about the whole tag team rule, because that meant I couldn't have Randy Orton or Matt Riddle.
Yeah, I mean, it's just obviously that thing they did last, I think, was pathetic. If they weren't tag team champions, I asked some tag team to get into. Don't you worry, Josh.
Oh yeah,
do that may not be.
I wasn't worried about them as a tag team. I was worried about them as singles compares.
Once I'm done with them. So we are halfway through that. So now let's get to round three then. Okay, so round three. The first pick for Monday Night Raw in round three, again, I kind of did one, as she is my current Raw Women's Champion, will be Charlotte Flair.
Makes sense.
Charlotte remains on Monday Night Raw with her championship and with not allowing anyone to defeat her ever.
So I'm going to take a slightly different route. You've gone for the women's division. I'm going for the tag division next. SmackDown's first tag team pick will be former SmackDown, NXT, and Raw tag team champions, the Street Profits.
Oh, the smoke remains. The smoke remains. That's a very strong pick there, I must admit. Tag team have got a lot of potential over on that brand. So yeah, well done. I guess then, you're gonna make me default at this then. I'm going to choose to remain on my Monday Night Raw roster, the tag team of the phenomenal AJ Styles and Omos.
That's messed up my next round. That's really messed up my next round.
We have to clarify. Paul and I, we've had no prior communication about who we're going to pick. I'm aware.
Oh. You went to say I'm aware. You went to say I'm aware, and then it froze.
Yeah. Cool. We're both aware, obviously, of each other's favourite wrestlers, who we like to an extent, and obviously some of that has changed on a day-to-day basis, depending on their phasing. But we haven't spoken about this. Generally, we haven't spoken about this. So that's what he's saying. Like, okay.
I think the most we've said is, you can have Reigns. I don't want him.
yeah, and that's literally the only communication that was said. That's why, I decided for that. But this is now, we'll see as the rounds go on. So who is your next pick for round three then?
I'm going to go back to the reserves. seeing as you've messed up round 4 and I changed round 3, I'm going to go with former NXT champion, 2-time NXT champion, Karrion Kross.
Oh, that's quite the steal there. That's quite the steal.
One of my favourite wrestlers on the Indies, and now one of my favourite wrestlers in WWE.
I know you're a big fan of him, weren't you? On yeah,
when he was in Impact Wrestling.
Impact days, that's the one. Okay, so I will go towards some of the mid card now, and I will choose someone who I'm a big fan of actually personally, and that will be coming over from the brand and now wearing his red t-shirt will be former United States champion and former IC champion Apollo Crews. He's now
that is not a bad shout at all.
Very talented guy, got a lot to offer, and the new gimmick I think is something is really cool to see.
Even though everyone was hating the Nigerian accent.
Oh, they were loving it at WrestleMania, weren't they? When they had the Nigerian drum fight.
I was always skeptical. Like, I wasn't a massive fan of the fact that he suddenly had an accent. It's like when Kofi Kingston suddenly lost his accent.
Yeah.
I like the fact that he's trying a new gimmick and tapping into his heritage, but he didn't have an accent before. Bit weird.
No, he didn't. So, let me just update this while I'm updating it with the people we picked, so I don't pick them again, basically. So, yeah, you said that. And that. I said her. Remember, you got to draft your champions. No, it's annoying, but you got ways to pick with them, but
yeah.
Better than not. Charlotte. Yeah, I think that was about it. Okay. So round 4, beginning in 3, 2. Right. So our final round, so round 4. To S, big name still to come. This is amazing. I know. Look, the thing is, I'm a little tangent here, but I must admit, even with WWE, done a lot of releases these past couple of.
I've only had 5 out of 6.
What do you mean?
I've only had 5 out of 6 picks.
No, you picked Big E and Finn the first round.
Yeah, that's why, because I've not got them on my list.
Yeah.
That was a default, that's why.
Yeah. Ron Cesaro and the Street Profits and Cross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, now I've got all 6. It threw me off because I didn't add him to my notes.
Oh, okay. Cool. Right. I'll just read into round 4 again.
Yeah.
3, 2. So now begins the final round of this episode, and it's round 4. And before this, I must admit, there's so much talent still to come that's not been drafted. And it's amazing, even though WWE released a lot of talent this past 12 months, or 18 months recently, since the pandemic began, like, it's still stacked how many people we've got to pick from.
And we've not even got to NXT yet.
It's absolutely crazy, isn't it? But without further ado, then, I guess, the next 4 Monday Night Raw and remaining on the red brand, will be Sheamus.
Not bad. I can see why you've gone with him. So our first round 4 pick was stolen in the last round. So I'm gonna dip my hand back in the tag team division.
Oh.
And remaining on SmackDown, I'm gonna split up the bloodline. I'm gonna go with the Usos.
Oh, well, I'm guessing by default they kind of have to anyway.
Oh, by default they have to because they're SmackDown Tag Team Champions, is what he was going to say.
Yeah, sorry. But yeah, look, no, very, very, very strong pick then. You will lead me then into the tag team division, and you will lead me to a team which I think haven't fully reached their potential, I think, on SmackDown yet, but I want to see more of them, and I want to see them come over to Monday Night Raw. That is a team, Ray and Dominic Mysterio, the Mysterios, they will be coming to Monday Night Raw.
Not bad. They should be interesting. I would like to see Dominic have his own singles run later down the line.
But yeah, I'm not playing up tag teams yet.
No. I was going to split up a tag team in round 4, but you took Styles and Omos. So our next,
you wanted Omos. You wanted Omos, didn't you?
No, I wanted Styles. Styles is one of my all-time favorites.
No, I was joshing as I said.
I would have Omos though if I had no choice, because I do like Omos.
Who is your next and final pick for round 4? Actually, then?
My final pick for round 4, and coming from Raw.
Still,
I believe he's a Grand Slam champion from his day. Jeff Hardy.
Indeed he is. And that is a very good final pick for you. So I would turn to the women with my next pick, and my next pick will be Monday Night Raw will become the official home Bianca Belair.
Yeah, I'm surprised it took you so long. Honestly, I thought you would have taken Belair in like round 1.
I was tempted to take her as part of round 3. I was just Street Profits, but then I was like, no, let me see. Let me give him a chance to at least retain her. But no, we're splitting up. We're doing a thing that we're not meant to do. They said they won't split up couples, but we are doing that. So Bianca Belair will be on a separate round from her husband, Montez Ford. So, SmackDown so far, the roster that you picked is WWE Champion Big E. You've also got Finn Balor. You've got Seth Rollins here in the drip. You've got Cesaro. We've got the Street Profits. You've got Karrion Kross coming over from Monday Night Raw. One of the only picks, along with Jeff Hart, actually, who you picked to come over from Monday Night Raw. And the Usos as well. So, yeah, you've got 2 tag teams. I've got 2 tag teams too.
They're not the only picks that came over from Monday Night Raw. They're the only picks that I managed to get.
Yeah.
Like you got one of my picks that I wanted from Monday Night Raw.
This is just the needs of the draft, really. So yeah, we will end it there. Don't forget to check us out on Instagram TV tomorrow, where we'll be doing our supplemental picks for the draft. That'll be tomorrow on Instagram TV, and we're back here on Monday for 6 rounds of draft action. Until then, I've been Lucas Jackson, joined by Jeffy Josh, and you've been watching Talking Crap, the draft special.
Take it easy.